What's up, everybody? It's your favorite podcast, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Trey, and as usual, I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. Well, I got no sponsors today. I'm just get straight right on into it. The Brooklyn Nets, right? What should they do exactly? James Harden is an actual option. Like, you compare James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant, and you can form a big three that you might even call better than the Heatles, when they had Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh. So with that being said, why would you not make that selection, right? Like why would you not pair those three players together? That should essentially equate to a championship or two. I mean, the Heat, like I said, they could be better or at least comparable to the Heat, and they brought in 2 chips out of 4 years. So why not do that and bring in something similar to the Nets? Well, I think currently constructed, and again, the depth was a little bit of an issue for the Heat back then, right? I think currently constructed, the Nets have enough in order to win an NBA championship and sustain that for longer than if you brought in James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant. There's also there's a few more reasons, but let's go ahead and break down the team, right? So you have KD and Kyrie. That NBA duo is phenomenal. You have 2 of the top 15 players in the game right now. The only reason I say top 15 is because Kyrie was injured. So he could get back into the top 10. We'll see how that goes. But KD, my man's is a for sure top 5 NBA player. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I still say he's the best. But to be fair, I did knock Braun for not being the best because he was injured. So I can't necessarily say that about KD, even though you know that's how I feel in my heart. Now, with that being your duo, you also have 2 Sixth Men of the Year candidates in Spencer Dinwiddie and Caris Levert based on talent. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if they were on their own team, they could be fringe all-stars. They legit could. They have the talent. And I think Caris is a little bit better than Spencer, although Spencer's more overall well-rounded on the offensive end. But that's what you have to back up Kyrie and KD. Then you add in a Joe Harris, who's one of the best shooters in the league. I think he was like the number 1 3-point shooter for his in 2019, and he's also a 3-point shooting champion, if I'm not mistaken. You also bring in a Taurean Prince, who's about a 38% 3-point shooter, and he's a lanky wing who can guard pretty well on the perimeter. In fact, Taurean Prince, when he's guarding from 3-point range, I think like opposition shoots about 31%. And then, but as you get close to the basket, they start to score about around the 50 to 60 range. So he can guard on the perimeter, which is going to be key because now the NBA is guard oriented, right? So you're going to be shooting a lot more threes, having a Taurean Prince to take the pressure off of a KD to guard those quicker wings or the LeBrons or whatever it is, like the PGs, the Kawhis. Having Taurean to be able to guard someone like that might be helpful. Maybe not Kawhi's case, but definitely PG's case. So you also have a DeAndre Jordan and a Jarrett Allen, who are at least decent rim protectors. And those are good quality bigs that you can throw up against any other bigs. I mean, you have DeAndre Jordan for the Joel Embiid. You have Jarrett Allen for the likes of an Anthony Davis or anybody like that. Like, granted, I'm not saying these 2 players are going to stop them. Don't even think that. Don't stop rolling your eyes and whatnot or saying that's wrong. I know they're not going to stop them. These are tough players, like stars in the league, but you at least have the body to be able to throw at them. Remember, PJ Tucker didn't do that bad against Anthony Davis. And you have two bigger players who actually can defend. So you have an actual talented team. And again, when you think about Spencer Dinwiddie and Caris Levert, they carried their team into the playoffs without Kyrie and KD. Twice. And granted, they lost, but you still get there. So now you have the playoff. It's kind of like the Clippers situation, except Kyrie's more of a point guard, and Kyrie and KD won't falter the way Kawhi and definitely PG did. So again, I don't think you necessarily need to trade for James Harden. I don't think you need to. And then let's take a look and listen to these clips real quick, just these 3.
We got a nice flow. Everybody touching the rock. Everybody shooting and scoring. So I'm not gonna get in the way of the game because, I want to have a little back and forth with Patrick Beverly, I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am. Y'all know who I am.
Is a collection of the NBA's best players.
Yeah.
Where do you think you rank in that right now?
What do you mean?
Where do you think you rank among the NBA's best players right now?
I feel like I'm the best player.
You mentioned playing each other. I've heard a little bit. Heard y'all been working a little bit. Now, I've heard one side of the story. Who's winning these games? Who's winning these ones?
Who's winning? Hey, what are you telling people, bro?
I'm not telling people anything. I just want to know what you about to say because I was waiting on your answer.
It's been even. I've had good days. You've had good days.
All right.
Even.
Uh-oh.
I wouldn't say.
Good days. You've had good days. I've left out of there happy on top of Mount Everest, feeling like, yo, I got a good day. I got the best out of Kevin Durant. I could go into this one day like, yo, I beat KD June 26th. You know what I mean? I beat him that day. I could scribble that in.
Yo, you might have. All right, man.
I was better than you that day. I was better than you
All
that
right.
day.
So see, these the type of conversations we can go off for an hour about what moves I used on him that day. But I felt the same way you felt every day walking out the gym. So I guess that's a good thing.
So as you can see, based on the team dynamic, each of those three, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and KD, all have significant egos. Granted, KD wants to play the game right. Kyrie doesn't want to be anything short of second fiddle. I'm sure we can assume that based on his play and how he actually came across during the Cavs seasons. And then James Harden wants to be the man. I mean, he's arguably the best offensive talent we have in the league, although it's KD easily. But there's an argument to be made for James Harden. So how do you mix all those in there and truly get what you want? I don't think Kyrie needs to be a third option. If you put him at a third option, great. But bringing James Harden over, I think he needs to be the point guard. Kyrie needs to be your attacking guard. KD needs to be KD. And that reminds me of OKC Thunder, except now you have a better shooter in Kyrie Irving, just not a better defender in Kyrie Irving. But even that, again, you lose a lot of ground. And if it goes wrong, that sets up your team the way it did, like with when they brought in Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce from the Celtics. Now, I'm not saying it's the same dynamic, but it can be very similar. It can set you up badly. They already bringing in those three players are already taking up the bulk of your cap space. It's just too much of a headache, and it's not a guaranteed win at the title. Still, it's still not. But you have a lot more things to worry about. But I also get why you bring in why you want to bring in James Harden as well. This is a preference thing. I'm not mad at either result, to be honest with you. Either way is a good route to go. It's more so a preference. I like a team as opposed to relying on these three guys, even though those three guys can bring in about 80 points a game by themselves. On a bad night. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. I don't think the team dynamic will be that great. I think the chemistry could be there, but if it doesn't end right, it'll blow up. And you have such a great start now. That's my main reason why I don't necessarily want to bring James Harden in if I have to blow up this team. So hey, comment below. I'm sure someone might have something to say. Hope y'all have a good one. Take care.